do you want to talk about?
What are your views of the current movements that are going on
My views of the current movements that's going on.
in art?
I don't know about the current movements that are going on. I'm not like avant-garde, you might say. I just paint. I paint street scenes of little towns, big cities, whatever they are. You know, like wherever like for me, my art move is approximationism, and it's about not necessarily being correct in where you place all your objects in your painting, because what you're painting is a scene of contemporary, circa 2000, contemporary today, so what can I say? I don't know what to say, dude.
What is the definition of approximationism?
Approximationism. That is, you had realists that painted a certain style, and impressionists that painted a certain style. They were after light and textures, perhaps, but mainly, they were after the light. Impressionism. They were capturing an impression of light, and realists were just capturing an impression of what is there. And so, what an approximation is sort of a combination of both of them, where it's approximately right there, whatever it is, whether it's that damn telephone pole in the way, or a gas tank in the middle of a field. Hand down here, dude. Whatever it is. I try to be honest with my scenes. I try to be today, what's happening today. I've done a lot of paintings where buildings are gone now, and they might have had a telephone pole crooked out front of the building for some stupid reason. I painted it like that. I didn't straighten it out. I didn't feel it. I thought that was the scene. That was what it was all about. If it was something was wrong, well, then that's the way it's supposed to be. I know creating art, we have artistic licenses and freedoms to change those things, but for me personally, that's what approximation is all about. It's capturing approximately that thing that's right there. Anything else?
And who are the artists that are currently using the movement of approximationism?
There's no one using it.
Are you the only
alone
in that
field? Now, with the approximationist comes the Merrimack River School, which is sort of a thought, and that's a bunch of colleagues, friends of mine. Some of them are full-time artists, some of them part-time artists, some of them, never paint, unless I drag them out of their house. And so that's the Merrimack River School. It's a school of thought, and it's about outdoor painting and painting in plein air paintings. A friend of mine is a portrait painter, but he also gets out and does the in plein air painting. Mark Hayden and Caleb Stone from the Rockport, Cape Ann School. He's sort of like part of the Merrimack River School because he's sort of a colleague of mine. Dick Windmill, another extraordinary landscape painter, but he's also part of the Merrimack River School. Bob Gibo, a friend of mine from high school. He's part of the whole shebang, and I've had like Ray Messina and a couple photographers, Bret Hart. Sort of the whole Merrimack River School thought, it's about capturing that moment, in time, and it's sort of a historic document. I think that's important, As contemporary artists, Robert Henry said, we are not here to do what has already been done. So, for me, I know painting's already been done. I mean, what type of landscape? Should we go down and paint motif number 1 a million more times? No, if you do, which I never have, approach it differently. Be different about it. Paint something that's not been painted. And so, maybe by me putting those stupid telephone poles in, right on that line of indecision, it's there. And I want to be honest with my paintings. I think it's important to be honest with who you are as an artist, and I think it's important to express that in your work. And I don't think that, we should have a mindset where, okay, a tree looks this way, or a tree looks that way, or a house looks, because everything that we approach, from the water to clouds, it's different every day. Every day. You cannot go back and say, hey, So painting that on that moment, during that moment, I think, that's probably part of approximationism too. I don't know.
And what is some good advice you can give?
Like we live once, we're here for this chance right now. So, as an artist, nothing really matters. If it, it's more important to create, to paint, create. Schooling is important, but as an individual, I think that far exceeds it as being an original artist. Schooling is so important to learn your technical aspects of stretching a canvas, to what pigments to use, proper brushes, and I mean that is so important, because if you don't know about the technical things, the painting can deteriorate over time. So I think it's very important to get proper training on at least aesthetics in painting, and kind of you want to be different, you want to be set apart as an artist. Having things, it's about creating things. I mean, yeah, we need materials to create. That's what we do. But it's more about, being able to create. As a matter of fact, look at this over here. I have a bunch of little sayings written on my wall, and behind this it is better to create than it is to be learned. Creating is the true essence of life. And that's it's powerful, as an artist. There it is. And, after that, I guess it's just paint. It's about, just keep going. Not giving up. A very good friend of mine, my high school art teacher. I don't want to call her my old high school art teacher. She's not that old. She used the word stick-to-itiveness, and stick-to-itiveness, that's what it's also all about, man. Sticking to it, not giving in to criticism too harsh, because everyone criticizes your work. If you're going to show anyone a painting, they're going to criticize it, and accept that, because, learn from that. You don't necessarily have to accept it, I should say, but learn from it, because there are novice eyes that view your work, that see things that you're not seeing because you're so technical about that brushstroke. So you want to, give yourself that leeway to listen to everyone. I paint on the streets of New York City, in Chicago. I've painted out in Vegas, New Orleans, all over the place. I've been working on the Big Dig, but my point is that people show up wherever I'm painting, and they're asking some pretty dandy questions. Questions about what you're doing, whether they're technically trained or not. They may have some perspective that you're not seeing, because you've oversaw the scene, and you're not seeing all those little things, perhaps, or some of the big things that you really need to look at. And it's important to understand that that's all good. It's not a bad thing. Criticism, if it was Roger Ebert or someone like that, it might be a harsh thing if it's a bad review, but in a painting, it's not about a bad review. We're all different. So that's an expression of ourselves. I think that every piece of artwork that every artist has ever done, well, barring a few commissions over time, but it is really a self-portrait. The stuff that they are passionate about, their real artwork, that is a true expression of them. So therefore, everything that we create as true artists is a self-portrait of who we are.